Every time I see you, you make my heart say, ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to another video. So today we will be talking about T'Kia Bevily. This is my first episode of a series that I will have here on my channel called Flummoxed. Flummoxed just basically means shocked, speechless, surprised to the point of speechlessness, just overly surprised. Okay. On this series, I plan to talk about different investigative type of content, things that happen, murders, and things of this nature. I guess legal cases and things of that nature. So today I'm going to talk about the case of T'Kia Bevily. I first heard about this on TikTok. It was a story time that a young lady told about her, about the case that she was dating this guy, Mr. Beverly. I think his name is Marcus. I don't remember. But anyway, she was dating this man. They fell in love. She's a nurse. He is some kind of professional. They fell in love. They got married. Shortly after getting married, she finds out from him. He knew, but he didn't tell her. He had a child with another girl. He had cheated, and they made a baby. So the little girl's name, I believe, was Zariah. They had a child, and he was letting her know about it. She decided that she wanted her life. She wanted to be with her husband. They was going to work their situation of infidelity out, and that they would just embrace. She accepted the baby, right? So she's not one of these women who is with a man with kids, but acts this way and that way. And she was a real woman and a real mom to the child. The child came over. The child spent the night. Everything because they also had a baby. A few months after that baby was born, she had their child. So everything that she did for her child, she did for this other child, Zariah. And fast forward, the entire family of both sides accepted it and embraced the child, and life moved on. So one particular weekend, they were supposed to get the baby, but instead of getting the baby directly from the mother, the baby went to the mom's family, then went to her family. Like, the baby had been in like 10 different locations that day. And that evening, her and her husband got the child. I don't know if there was a reason this happened this way or not, but they got the child. The baby came to their house. Both of her baby and Zariah has a bed there. And they put the kids to bed. They went to bed, and, life went on as usual. In the middle of the night, she woke up, or either her husband woke up, but she ended up going to the kitchen to get her husband some water. So on the way back, she went through to check on the kids, and she checked her baby. Baby was fine. When she checked Zariah was cold. So she, tried to, I guess, move her to see what was going on, whatever, but she was clearly deceased and cold. So she screamed for him, told him to come in there. They called 911, and ambulance came, and the baby goes to the hospital, and they did an autopsy. The baby died, obviously, and they said the cause of death was blunt force trauma. And so moving forward, they investigated her, investigated him. So during the investigation, Zariah's mom says, well, my baby would come home sometime. The last time she came home, she had scratches on her. They said she fell trying to walk because she was around the time that she was learning to walk. And so they fully investigated and they ended up arresting her. So what I'm going to do now is play you some clips, and then I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary on this.
Daughter is now home on bail. T'Kia Bevily was released on a $1 million bond and is awaiting a new trial. 12 News' Anthony Howard spoke exclusively with Bevily's family about her case. Anthony?
The family is calling this a small victory in a fight this far from over. I spoke with T'Kia Bevily's mom and brother about what's next for the daughter and sister and their expectations for the upcoming trial.
I believe that Jariah and T'Kia both deserve justice, and I'm going to make sure they receive it.
After conviction and 8 months in prison, Christopher Smith maintains his belief that his sister is innocent.
We're honestly ecstatic and thankful for the fact that T'Kia Bevily has been brought home after being wrongfully convicted and in prison, unfortunately, for 8 months. We're thoroughly dissatisfied with the black stain that the justice system now has regarding T'Kia Bevily, and we're ready to fight and prepare for her to never have to see the inside of a prison again.
Bevily's mother says the accused has suffered being separated from her children.
They're very happy to be back with her. It took a toll on T'Kia as far as being away from her kids, but overall, she was a trooper. She stood strong, and she kept the faith, and she's home.
T'Kia Bevily's conviction was overturned due to jury misconduct, and her brother feels after new findings and a fair trial, his sister will be exonerated.
T'Kia's indictment was based on lies, as well as her conviction. So T'Kia, regardless if she was found guilty with that jury, there was no evidence against her.
Smith says the lack of evidence caused the Claiborne County District Attorney to create a negative narrative about Bevily, which ultimately led to her conviction.
So they've tried to build this narrative, this false narrative against T'Kia as this quote-unquote evil stepmother, when that's the furthest thing from the truth. T'Kia went above and beyond for Jariah, and she's went above and beyond for anyone that has met her, as well as the biological mother. So there's no jealousy, no hate in T'Kia's heart, and there's still not any today.
Bevily's trial date has been scheduled for spring 2022. The term of the bond has placed Bevily under house arrest, restricting her from leaving Warren County, and she's not allowed to leave her home from the hours of 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. with an exception of verified employment.
A jury has found T'Kia Bevily not guilty to capital murder for her 14-month-old stepdaughter, Jariah Smith. That's according to her attorney, Dennis Sweet. Bevily was accused of killing her back in October 2017. Investigators said the cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head. The toddler's father, Morris Bevily, has also been charged with murder.
The family of the late toddler, Jariah Smith, speaks out against the Claiborne County judge who tried the case. 12 News' Anthony Howard has the story. Anthony?
The family accuses Judge Tamika Irving of being biased in the case of the state of Mississippi versus T'Kia Bevily. They feel the judge may have had a personal connection to the Bevily family, inhibiting her ability to fairly try this case.
She shouldn't have ever been over this case.
After serving only 8 months of a life sentence for the murder of her stepdaughter, T'Kia Bevily is out on bond.
I do not feel like that's fair at all, but that's another thing with the judge.
Deidreana Smith says she recently discovered that Claiborne County Judge Tamika Irving had a personal relationship with the Bevily family.
The judge was supposed to recuse herself from this case because she knew Mr. Bevily, Mr. Morris's father. That's a conflict of interest right there.
The family of 14-month-old Jariah says the judge and the Bevily family all attend the same church.
If you're assuming that a juror is related to, an extended family member of Jariah, then it's safe for us to assume that your father or father-in-law who pastors a church, whose co-pastor is the defendant's father, you all knew each other.
T'Kia Bevily was granted a retrial and bond eligibility after it was determined Juror 24 was related to the family of the victim.
I feel like they were looking for anything just to give this girl a retrial, and they did.
Relatives of the victim believe the relationship between the judge and the Bevily family caused her to be lenient with the case.
In the history of this court's existence, there has never been a bond given to a capital murder. Never. In the history of this court's existence, there has never been a retrial granted. There has never been a case overturned ever in the history of Claiborne County Justice Court.
It's my feelings because I feel like Jariah's life didn't matter. That's all they care about was T'Kia. What about Jariah? She's the one who's not here. And we want justice again.
Now, the family also believes the relationship between the judge and the Bevily family is the reason Morris Bevily, the father of Jariah, doesn't have a scheduled trial date. I reached out to Judge Irving, but she has not been available for comment at this time. Melanie?
Okay, guys, so you guys were able to look at the clips about the story, what happened. You know, she actually ended up going to prison, but only was there for 8 months and then came home, and now she's free. What do you guys think? Now, I looked into this case in great detail. I looked for every piece of information that I could. Now, when I first heard of it on TikTok, she talked about it, but at the time, I don't think that T'Kia had been charged at the time. I think they were in the trial phase of it, the first trial. And as you heard, you know, there was 2 trials. They went through the first trial. She was found guilty and given life in prison. Her husband was arrested as well, but they hadn't had his trial yet. I guess they really wanted to say she did it, so that's why they were aggressing against her. Well, she went to prison. Then at that point, because at first he never had a scheduled date for his trial. So she's already in prison and he hadn't even went to trial. So I think they finally had scheduled a date for his trial, and then they found out about the jury misconduct, which a member of the child's mom's family was on the jewelry and didn't tell that he was related. So, you know, she got a new trial because of this. They went through the second trial. There was new information presented, and with the new information and what have you, she was actually exonerated at that time. So she is free. So when they exonerated her, they ended up dropping the charges on the husband because they said it wasn't enough evidence because, like I said, there was new information presented at the second trial of hers. So the father never actually went through trial, only her. But she, you know, was exonerated. They said it was blunt force trauma, but then again, the baby was with so many people that day, it's hard to say what happened. And all of those people weren't her family. Some of those people were his family. No, let me say it the right way. All of them wasn't his family. Most of the people she spent the day with was Zariah's mom's family. Okay, I want to make sure I said that right. Anyway, so since they weren't sure who was who or where the trauma could have happened, they really couldn't say she did it. And she swore, and no one has ever said that she has ever treated the child indifferent. When they took pictures, all of them was together. Like, she embraced the child. She treated the child like it was her child. Everyone that, you know, talked about it, that's what they said, except for Zariah's family, naturally, because they wanted her to be found guilty, obviously, because if you lost your child, you're going to want somebody to pay the price. And so that's what that was. But anyway, with the information that was presented and the information that I looked at, I felt like she didn't do it. I felt like if she would have, then there would have been a clue that the father seen or heard. The baby would have cried or something. And then the blunt force trauma that they said that she suffered wasn't, it was like they could barely see it because they did more than one autopsy, I want to say, or at least more than one coroner looked at it, and one felt one way and the other felt the other way, if I remember correctly. So it was just one of those things. It could go either way. But anyway, I felt like she didn't do it. I just want to know, what do you guys feel? Do you feel that, have any of you heard about this case, first of all? And if you have, what are your thoughts on it? If you haven't heard about the case, Just with the information presented today, what are your thoughts about that? About the fact that there was a new trial granted because of jury misconduct, which was the uncle being on the jury and not telling he was related. He wasn't honest about that. Also, the husband, Mr. Bevily, his father was a pastor. And the judge's father went to the church of Mr. Bevily. So Zariah's family felt that that was misconduct and that she should not be able to, she should have recused herself from this case and someone else should have done the adjudicating on the case. So they felt that it was a bias there as well, and that they did not, that justice was not served for that reason. So give me you guys' thoughts on this, okay? Let's talk about this as we always do below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Also, if you guys like the cases that I'm bringing, let me know. Let me know how you feel about it. I hope that you are liking the information and the cases and the things that I'm bringing on this channel. If not, give me your give me some feedback. Let me know what you think. Anyway, if you are new here, welcome, and if you've been here before, welcome back. And be sure you like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye.